Hey everyone, Donnie Eisenhower here, and welcome back to Post 302. If these videos are helping you, make sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and download the free worksheet in the description below to follow along with this video, and then use it for review for the class exam. Today's lesson, we're covering section 4, closing preparation and procedures. This is one of the most important sections of the class. So let's focus only on the important information of things that you may see on test day. North Carolina is an attorney closing state. One of the easiest exam questions asked, who conducts closings in North Carolina? The answer is simple, the closing attorney. North Carolina is one of the only few states that is an attorney closing state. The attorney coordinates the transaction, prepares the legal documents, conducts the closing, records the deed, and then issues the title of opinion. So remember this, attorney equals closing in North Carolina. The buyer typically selects the closing attorney, and in most transactions, the buyer also pays the attorney's fees. So what does the attorney need? So before closing, the attorney needs several important items. So be familiar with this list. They need the current purchase sales contract, the seller's deed, HOA information, title insurance information, and bills to be paid at closing. Now, the exam may ask you what information is necessary before the attorney can prepare the closing documents, so you will want to know and be familiar with this information. What happens if there is a delay in settlement? Students tend to get confused on this question. Many people think that closing must occur on settlement day, and that's not true in North Carolina. The standard offer to purchase and contract allows for a 7-day delay before the delaying party is considered breaching contract. So remember, settlement date is not an automatic breach if closing is delayed. There is a 7-day grace period. Now, buyer's due diligence period. This is important because North Carolina is a caveat emptor state. That means buyer beware. The buyer is responsible for investigating the property before closing. During the due diligence period, the buyer should complete or at least consider these things: doing a home inspection, property investigation, getting the loan approved, checking out their insurance, the appraisal, repair negotiations, and doing a walkthrough of the property. So know this, if the buyer cancels after the due diligence period, they lose the due diligence fee, and also they will lose the earnest money deposit as well. This is a very common question. Additional due diligence items. Buyers should also investigate restrictive covenants, zoning, well and water issues, septic systems, and flood zones. For septic systems, you want to remember this. A percolation test determines what the soil is, if the soil is suitable for a septic system. A percolation test is not a home inspection. Now let's talk a moment about title insurance. This is another tested topic. The attorney issues a title of opinion. Title insurance protects against defects in the title. So know the difference between the two types of policies. There is an owner's policy. The owner's policy protects the buyers. Then there is a lender's policy. The lender's policy protects the lender or the bank. Both are generally purchased at closing as a one-time gift, as a one-time expense. So remember, owner's policy equals buyer. Lender's policy equals bank. Don't get these confused and understand who pays for it. The buyer. Settlement documents. Before closing, the seller usually provides a deed. They will provide a mechanic's lien affidavit, bill of sale, any leases, loan payoff information, and proof of completed repairs. Be familiar with this list. Now, the buyer documents, the buyer typically provides loan documents, title insurance, home insurance, termite report, and survey. These are all common pre-closing items. Now, while the closing is taking place, conducting the closing, there are 5 basic steps. There's a review of the documents. They sign the documents. The documents are then recorded, and then the funds hit after the transaction, and then report required to the IRS information. Simple, but highly knowable. The Good Funds Act. The exam loves this topic. Remember 2 rules. Number 1, no money is distributed until after recording. Rule number 2, funds over $5,000 must be verified. Don't confuse settlement with recording. The money is not distributed simply because everyone is signed. Recording must first take place. And so brokerage transfer of funds. Earnest money may be transferred from the brokerage trust account to the settlement attorney up until 10 days before settlement. So watch for this question asking about this on the exam, asking about that time frame. RESPA, another major topic. RESPA stands for Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. The 2 biggest purposes are protect the consumers and eliminate kickbacks. Remember this phrase, RESPA equals no kickbacks. RESPA applies to federal related mortgage loans and 1 to 4 family residential properties. RESPA does not apply to cash transactions, vacant land, commercial property, or seller financing. Now, loan estimate. The buyer or the borrower must receive the loan estimate within 3 business days. After a completed loan application, the borrower receives a loan estimate, loan cost, APR information, and the home loan toolkit. So know this, the lender is responsible for the loan estimate, not the real estate broker. Another favorite question to ask, what fees can the lender collect before issuing the loan estimate? The answer would be only the credit report fees. So closing disclosure, remember this. Remember that the buyer has to receive the closing disclosure 3 days prior to closing. The closing disclosure timeline cannot be waived. They've got to receive that information prior to closing. How many days? 3 days. Affiliated business arrangements. If a broker refers a client to a company they own or they have ownership in, then there are 3 rules that apply. They must disclose the relationship, tell the client the expected fees, and never require the client to use the company. So remember this, they must disclose, no pressure, and client gets to choose. Let's finish up with some quick review questions. Who conducts closings in North Carolina? The closing attorney. How many days can a settlement be delayed? 7. North Carolina is what kind of state? Caveat emptor. Who does the owner's policy protect? The buyer. Who does the lender's policy protect? The lender. When can money be distributed? Only after closing or after recording. What does RESPA prohibit? Kickbacks. Who prepares the loan estimate? The lender. What fee may be collected before the loan estimate? Only the credit report fee. Can the closing disclosure timeline be waived? No, it cannot. Y'all, great job! If you can confidently answer these questions we covered today, you'll be in great shape for Section 4 portion of the post-license exam for 302. Don't forget to download the free worksheet in the link in the description below. Subscribe to this channel and check out the rest of 302 exam review playlist. Y'all, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, like always, I am here to help you from licensing to close.